Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be re-reviewing the DC Direct 1/6 scale Joker from The Dark Knight. So yeah, I reviewed this quite a while back with my terrible camera, and I felt like it definitely deserved to be reviewed again. He is a pretty cool figure, and he is definitely a good representation of Joker if you don't want to pay about twice or more of the price to get a Hot Toys Joker in this same scale. He comes with lots of accessories, different sort of clothing, and removable cloth clothing, and all those sorts of things. And he is very cool. So let's go ahead and zoom into the articulation, sculpt paint details, all those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have Joker. Here is our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Superior Spider-Man, and our 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Of course, Joker is a 1/6 scale figure, so he is in that 12 to 13-inch range. Therefore, he is much taller than the other two. Anyway, let's get them out of here and just look at the Joker. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. Here we have the Joker. As you can see, he is fully decked out in full cloth clothing, and he has a lot of layers of clothing, as a matter of fact. It must be very cold in Gotham. He has his purple overcoat. He's got a grayish-colored blazer-type coat underneath that. Then he has his olive green vest, and then he has his hexagonal patterned purple shirt underneath that. He also has a tie there on his chest. I'll go into the clothing a bit more in a minute, but right now, that's what he looks like straight out of the box with all those clothing options on. He's got some purple pinstripe pants and some brown shoes down there at the bottom. They do have sculpted detail on them and have a little bit of string coming out of them, although they're not untieable and removable. You'd probably break his feet if you tried to take them off. Joker does have hands, however the sleeves on this jacket are very long, so it's a bit difficult to see them. He comes with several extra hands. We'll look at all of his hands later. And that's pretty much it, really, for the body detail. Let's take a closer look at his clothing, and then we'll move on to some other details. Like I said a minute ago, Joker comes with several jackets on. Here is his overcoat. He looks far too bulky, in my opinion, wearing all the different coats. They're all easily removable, as they're pretty much just on like a normal person's coat would be. So take that one off, and then you can see this gray one under here, and I personally find this one to be just completely irrelevant, and I would not use it at all. It does nothing but make him look unnecessarily bulky, and it adds really nothing to the visuals of the figure. So I recommend either having him displayed this way, and you can take his sleeves and roll them up, which looks kind of cool, or to take and just put his big jacket back on over this outfit, because that other jacket's just pointless in my opinion, and this makes him look much less bulky, and it still keeps that same good aesthetic of him wearing the jacket. Now, if you do want to mess with the vest or the tie, which I personally wouldn't do, it does have little snaps here in the front, and the tie is tied like a real tie, and you can take all that off and stuff if you really want to. But I don't feel like that's really necessary or useful for display options, in my opinion. Anyway, now that we've got all the clothing out of the way, let's go ahead and zoom in on the head sculpt real quick. Alright, and now zooming in on the head sculpt, you can see Joker's face. It's a bit difficult to pick up some of the detail. There actually is a little bit of gapping in between the wrinkles on his forehead and stuff that breaks up the paint, the face paint, which is cool. That's fairly accurate. But most of the face is white. Of course, he has his Glasgow smile down around the bottom of his face there, which is painted red. He's got some nice black around the eyes, and the eyes are done really, really well. They look like proper eyes. The hair is all painted brown and green, sculpted very nicely. Looks pretty cool. I think the likeness is really pretty decent. Of course, there is a Hot Toys Joker, so that means that this is inferior to that. But I think for the most part, especially in this price range, that is a very, very good head sculpt, and I do approve of that. Anyway, let's zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, Joker is pretty much what you would expect from a 1/6 scale figure. You have the ball peg head, so that rotates, goes up and down a little bit, could be a bit better. Side to side, all those sorts of things. Ball joint shoulder, in and out, forward and back, bicep cut, double jointed elbows, wrist cut, could use some better wrist articulation, but not that big of a deal. Abdominal joint, waist cut, DCUC style hips that go in and out and forward and back, cut there, right above the knee, double jointed knees, cut at the ankle, and a hinge in the ankle as well. No pivoting or anything like that. So you can get him into plenty of poses, and that's all very nice. Very standard, but it's a good standard, so I approve of it. Now, Joker comes with several extra hands as well as a lot of accessories, so let's go ahead and start looking at those. Alright, starting off here are all of Joker's hands. He comes with 3 pair, 6 hands in total. He has 2 fist hands. He has 2 hands for holding. Those work for cards, gun, or knife, although the trigger finger doesn't work perfectly well. And then he has some flat, relaxed, open hands, just for sort of lounging about. So those are all very cool. Joker comes with 3 knives. He has something that would be like a kitchen knife, this weird sort of black knife that's probably very difficult to see, and then this combat knife. I personally prefer the combat knife. I would actually like the look of the kitchen knife the most, but he doesn't hold it as well, so the best look/holding combination is definitely the combat knife. Joker also comes with this pistol. It is actually movable. The little cocking bit right here can move forward and back, so that's kind of cool. And then you can also insert the magazine down here into the bottom, and then you have a complete handgun. Joker also comes with an array of playing cards. There are 15 of them in total, and they are essentially tiny little laminated sort of pieces of paper. And you can sort of shove them into his little holding hands. They'll stay there if you balance them right. And they're a cheap accessory, but a nice one to have. Lastly, Joker comes with his bank robbing mask. It doesn't really fit on his head perfectly, and it makes his head look really big and kind of weird, but it is fairly nicely detailed. It has all the proper painting to it, and it looks pretty accurate. It just doesn't really fit on the head very well. As you can tell, it's got a little white elastic strap that wraps around his head. It's okay. You could have him holding it, or you could just put it on his head. It's just going to look a bit weird. Joker also comes with a standard DC Direct stand. It has a little waist clip here, which you can slide up and down on this rod, and then it has the Dark Knight logo down there on the base. It helps him stand up, but he can stand up without it. Anyway, that wraps it up for all of Joker and his accessories. So let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. Packaging-wise, Joker comes in the standard for the DC Direct 1/6 scale line. Dark Knight logo, picture of the figure there on the front. The Joker 1/6 scale deluxe collector figure DC Direct logo. You can open this door here and reveal a window that would display the figure, as well as a picture of the figure and a little description on this side. On the back, you get a picture of the figure and a little description, and that's pretty much it. As is usually the case with these kind of boxes, they're not really good for in-package display because of the door. If you could prop the door open, you could sort of see the figure, so it's better than not having a window at all, but it's still not preferential for in-package display. So, yeah, Joker. Alright, that wraps it up for Joker, so until next time, goodbye! Hello, you've just watched one of my videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed my videos. If you didn't, run away and never return. Also, feel free to check out my other channels, Venom Raptor for all my variety gaming content, and VR Reviews for reviews of various action figures and collectibles. Thank you, and goodbye.